Good morning, guys, and welcome to another lesson in modes. Today we're going to be looking at the Mixolydian mode, as I have up on the board here. We've already looked at Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, and Lydian in the context of the key of C major and what those modes mean, and we are basically identifying that they are the same scale, just played from a different starting note. So we're going through the scale consecutively in order, and today we reach the Mixolydian part of the scale. So this is what it sounds like, and it starts on G. And these are the positions we will be learning to play it in. Okay, and this is the arpeggio. So you can see there are a few different ways of playing each of those, which are all tabbed out and available on the website. Again, as usual in these lessons, I use different bass guitars from the brand I endorse, which is Bacchus, and today I'll just introduce this to you. This is the Bacchus DX5 Exotic Wood Series. This one is a passive model, and it comes with this burl poplar top on the ash back. Beautifully made, handcrafted instrument. If you're interested in these, give me a holler. I'm happy to give you especially I can give students a little bit of discount through my website. Those who subscribe and those who are my students get a little bit of a discount off Bacchus basses, 2 of the list price on my website. Anyway, on with the lesson in hand, and let's just go through that scale. So we're starting on the 3rd fret G, and let's obey for this one. I think it's a little bit uncomfortable to obey the 1 finger per fret rule, so I use my double bass technique on this, and I use my 1st finger on the G here, and I go up to the A with my 4th finger. It's fine if you want to use your 2nd finger, go up to for the G and A for your 4th finger. That's fine. I don't do that, but anyway. So G, A, and then B with your 1st finger, C with your 2nd, D with your 4th, E with your 1st, F with your 2nd, G with your 4th, and that's it. And then note the pattern. This is the one we have written here at the top, and now let's just do the arpeggio. So root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th are what we want, so that's going to be G, B, D, F in that position. Okay. There you go. And now what I want to do is take that and put it on the A string. Okay, so I want you to test yourself now. Where is G on the A string? Find your G on the A string. Okay. It's gonna. I'll give you a clue. It's gonna be an octave higher than this G, but it'll be the same as the G that you landed on. Find that G and play exactly the same shape from that point. Okay. Now you can test yourself. Here is the answer. It is here on the 10th fret of the A string. So here, use your 2nd finger and play A with your 4th finger on 12th fret, and continue the pattern from there with 1 finger per fret. And use your play exactly the same arpeggio shape there. Right? Fantastic. So that is the 2 basic patterns for G7 there. Now let's try using the open strings. So for this, I'd like you to start with your 4th finger on the G, 3rd fret of the E string, and then we're going to go up to open A, B, C. Notice I'm using 2nd and 4th here. This is because I play double bass. You do not have to obey what I'm doing here. I think it's better because you're supporting your little finger with these 2 fingers behind. You get a clearer, stronger note, in my opinion. But anyway, this is the method I use. You're fine to do it like this as well, with the 1 finger per fret rule. But anyway, this is where I do it. So 4th, open A, B, C, D, E, F, G, open G. So, and then the arpeggio. So we're going to use the open D instead this time, instead of fretting it up here. Okay, so the next step is to take that up an octave higher. Now I've written this pattern here. This is represents the 15th or the 3rd fret over here, and this represents the 12th or the open string. Let me just show you that a bit closer up. So over here, I've done it like this because basically I want all my students to recognize that the 15th fret is the same as the 3rd fret, it's just an octave higher, and that the 12th fret represents the open strings but an octave higher. It's quite easy to understand. Most of you probably understand that already, but that's why I've written it like that, and I'd like you to learn that in both positions, both from the 15th fret and from the 3rd fret. Okay, so let's look at that now. From the 15th fret of the E string, and I start with my 4th finger here, and I obey one fret per finger rule, 1 finger per fret rule. Sorry. Okay, so you'll notice that it's basically the same as the open position, but it's a lot easier to play because you don't have to stretch. Right, and the arpeggio, there you go. So that's it. That covers Mixolydian in the basic shapes and positions. It doesn't cover it all over the neck, but for now, as I've been showing you basically 2 or 3 positions that you can play each arpeggio and scale in for each of these modes. Once you get all these down, then we can connect them together. Alright, so let's learn a bass line that uses Mixolydian. So the bass line that I'm going to use as an example is from All Blues by the Miles Davis version, because it uses the keynotes beautifully, and it swings really nicely in a 6/8 pattern. Loop a little bit. So there you have. Let's just undo that voice. There you have the groove, and the chord for this is G7. So what I'm going to do is just isn't that nice? You can also play that an octave higher, like this. So let me take you through this bass line and show you what's going on there, because we're using the root, obviously, and we're going from root, fifth, sixth, fifth, seventh, fifth, sixth, fifth. That's the first pattern. Right? Again, this is tabbed out, so if you subscribe at my website, you can get loads of tabs for many of the video lessons that are up here on YouTube. And the second part, it starts off the same, but when it reaches the F, it just goes back down to the E and then to an A. Whoops, I messed that up, so I'm trying to slap at the same time. So, beautiful line anyway, I love it. And I'll just play out with an example of how you can practice soloing over Mixolydian. I'll put it on a background setting, as usual, and what I'll do is I'll just play the Mixolydian scale over the top of it. And then from this position, so absolutely everything you've learned so far will fit over this. Actually, all the arpeggios, you can play a D minor arpeggio over this. You can play an A minor arpeggio over this. You can play a C major arpeggio over this. You can play an E minor arpeggio over this. It's nice, eh? You can play F major. So what I'm trying to get at here is that actually you can start to connect things together using the modes and the arpeggios that correspond to them. Anyway, this is something that we get into a bit later after you've got all of the modes under your belt in these basic positions. Alright, so like I said, the tabs are up at my website. I've made a rough of this backing track as well that you can practice over. It is very rough though, it's just what I made here today live on the fly. So hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to seeing you for another lesson. And the next one will be on, see if you can guess what mode comes next. I'll give you a few seconds. I'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you get it right? It was Aeolian, natural minor mode, which is A A minor, Aeolian. So that's what we'll be looking at next time, and then we've only got one more mode to go after that, and we've done all of them. Alright. Be sure, if you haven't seen the other mode lessons, just to check them out as well. Remember, all the tabs are at my website. Remember, you can get these fantastic basses also at my website. You know, if you have any questions about these two, give me a holler anytime. Thanks for watching.